Thanks for joining us Behind the Frontline, a podcast providing timeless solutions to everyday workforce and workplace challenges. Frontline Training Solutions is an express employment professionals company, strategically placed between the workplace and the workforce with professionals standing by, ready to combat your unique challenges. Learn more about what we do at frontlineon.com. Thanks for tuning in to this special segment of Behind the Frontline, where we went to Denver, Colorado to the Express Employment Professionals International Leadership Conference, and we sat down with some of the top staffing leaders around the country and asked them questions about what challenges they are seeing in the workplace and the workforce, and their thoughts about how companies can become and stay employers of choice. Like anything you hear and want to know more, contact us at frontlineon.com or reach out to your local Express Employment Professionals near you. So now we're sitting here with Susan Anderson, who's the Director of Strategic Sales at Express International Headquarters in Oklahoma. How you doing?
I am wonderful. Thank you so much for inviting me to this. I'm excited to share.
Yeah, we're also joined again with Janis Petrini and David Robb, who are the co-owners of Frontline Training Solutions. So we're going to have a little conversation.
Awesome.
All right. So tell us about your role at Express International Headquarters.
Yeah, so I have the pleasure of being a part of our strategic sales team, which is a group under the leadership of Karen Billen, and our number one goal is to simplify the contract process for strategic accounts for the Express organization. So I have the joy of negotiating contracts on behalf and in conjunction with our owners to either save business or to expand on a great relationship that started in the field that we have the pleasure of expanding for the rest of the organization.
Oh, that's so good. So from your perspective, what are some of the challenges you're hearing about and seeing from other franchise offices or just from your area in the workplace and the workforce?
Yeah. So I think I'll break that question into two parts, because I think the voice of the franchisees is one side of it, but I think the voice of the customer when they're coming to us to ask for simplification. Right. And I think they're tied. And so if we focus on what the customer is saying, they are, from post-COVID, they're a little weary of staffing, and they're weary of the rates that they've paid and the quality that they've received and the tie between the two. And so I give the analogy that I'm using with our customers right now is they were paying for a Range Rover, but they were getting a Ford. And now they're like, if I'm going to pay, this is what I want. But the competition is so fierce now because the labor market has changed so much so quickly yet again that customers are now coming back to say, whoa, wait, there's more than one game in town now, and I want a Range Rover, but I'm only going to pay you for a Ford. So that's the
good insight.
It's the pressure, the downward pressure on pricing is really what we're seeing. I think the second piece that we're seeing is the optimization of vendors. They're looking at who are we working with? What have they delivered? Have they been consistent? Are they intentional? Where do I rank in their business? Is my business important to them? Right. And that really comes through when we're starting to see RFPs and RFIs and what is your value statement? What can you do for me? So those are the two trends that I'm seeing. And then when I think about the impact that has on our franchisees, it's significant, because all of a sudden what was an easier market to support, and there was more, we were in control.
Yes.
And now we're not. And so we need to be more creative in our solutions. We need to go back to the sell. We need to look at our pricing and our margins. And unfortunately, we need to really look at, are we servicing our clients to the level that they should expect from Express?
You mentioned creative solutions. What are some of the creative solutions that you've seen?
So things like going on site, showing up for a check-in, walking the floor, asking to be a part of the health and safety committee. We need to get back to ingraining ourselves in the day-to-day operations of our customers versus I think what we had been doing, during the pandemic, which was, oh my gosh, I've got so much. I can't focus, and now we need to get back to that. And so I think that our franchisees need to be looking at technology options like the deputy time capture. I think that's a really great solution that we can bring. We need to look at our service on site. We need to look at how are we recruiting and testing. And I think this type of concept where we're bringing training solutions to our customer and we're talking to them about retention again and the value that we bring, these are some of the creativity. That's the creativity we need to bring.
That's so good.
What do you guys think?
Yeah, I agree with what you just said. We definitely have to bring more value for our clients than ever before, especially if we're going to stand out from the competition. So we've seen the same thing locally with really consolidating those vendors. Whereas during COVID, you were working with 7, 8 staffing agencies just because you had to.
Yeah.
But now you're consolidating down to who's really performing for you. So yeah, definitely I echo your statements. Express has to get back to that level of service that we were known for and going above and beyond really the competition.
Yeah, such good insight. I mean, we're experiencing exactly what you said with our clients and really what they're asking for. And we're also in this quandary of helping our clients try to be an employer of choice as well, in that we can send a Range Rover, but they also have to be able to welcome that person, create an environment and a sense of belonging, create a pathway for that person to thrive in their company. And so they're also asking, because it's so competitive still for talent, there's still a tremendous talent shortage, even though it may not feel like it, but it's really, they're looking also for solutions about how am I going to set myself apart? How am I going to be that employer of choice? And so I think we have to come to the table with all of the things that you said, better quality, better service levels, really deliver on our service promise, but also help them to be also very competitive in this talent landscape.
Well, and I think one of the things that we're doing as an organization, and we need to continue to do, is the upskilling of our associates, right? So the talent shortage isn't going to go away. And if you look at the data that's being presented, it will continue to be tight. But the reality is that there will be unemployment because there's a population that is unskilled. And the jobs that we need to fill are skilled. And so how do we get ahead of that? And so I know some of the other Express offices have partnerships with high schools. They've got partnerships with trades colleges and some of the institutions that support it to sort of get our name out in front to say, we're not just a light industrial supplier. Like, we can help you with your skilled trades. We can help you with your professionals. So I think that diversification is really important as well. So, and I think if you were to look at the footprint that Grand Rapids has started, it's the right one, because an associate can come in at one level, and maybe they're a university student or a college student, and they work through summer opportunities, and they come back, and then all of a sudden there's a skilled trades or a professional. Like, there's an opportunity for us to capture those associates back again too as they continue to skill.
Yeah, associates for life.
Yes.
Yeah, I love that concept.
I'm curious too, as you talk to huge employers and national companies, what are some of the challenges that you see that they're facing besides what we've been talking about?
A couple of things. So number one, access to data, right? Okay. We're all data hungry. We all want to know. We all, like in our own offices and our own businesses, we're looking at our metrics, we're looking at our KPIs, we're looking at our spend. Customers want the exact same thing, but they're taking it to another level where it's about compliance. It's about managing risk. It's about looking at what are the contractual terms of the agreements that we have, and are they in line with what the organization expects from their supply base. I think we got away from that with COVID. I think, so that was kind of my 2 points. One would be data, and the other would be compliance. The world of VMS is not going away. I know people don't want to hear it, but when nearly 50% of the staffing spend flows through technology, and it's all data. They want compliance and governance and data.
And efficiency too, I think. They, the bandwidth of people is so limited at a lot of the companies, and those kind of systems bring a lot of efficiency, and they tell a very complete story.
Yeah. Well, I think the other piece to that, Janis, is employers, I think they gravitate to Express because of our process, because we really are quite in depth when we go through the candidate experience, right? And things like the E-Verify, that's a wonderful thing, because no organization wants to be caught with a workforce population that is not vetted to work.
Exactly.
Right? Nobody wants their company name in the headline saying injury undocumented worker. Right? So
we had a nationwide scare, not with Express, but with some other of our competitors this year that put their clients at risk because of a lack of
Compliance.
compliance.
Yeah,
And
compliance.
so we're proud of that ISO certified process.
Absolutely.
And we were proud of all that we were doing to vet, interview, screen, and qualify employees, and we were confident in that when that crisis was going on. So, yeah.
So, as we're sitting here talking about, compliance and the other challenges, if you're listening to this podcast right now, and this could be the first time you've heard the term employer of choice, which is just, a company that's with its stellar reputation is sought after with job seekers. So, what's your best advice for companies who are kind of trying to become an employer of choice or navigating this talent crisis, facing the challenges that you listed? What's your best advice for them?
I think I have two pieces. Number one, hold your temporary associate labor pool in the same light with the same respect as your individuals that you've hired onto your payroll, because they bring as much value to your organization and the productivity organization as that FTE that you have. So I think respect the work that the associate is doing. And then to echo your sentiment, it's be intentional when you bring someone on staff and put them through a vetted, qualified onboarding experience. Make it a good experience, and then touch back to that associate to see how are they doing, what has their experience been. Listen to what they're saying, because there may be an opportunity to tweak it. So I really think it's being candidate-centric again.
That's so good.
That's great advice. We've seen some of our employers who, they work with us to hire people permanently, but they bring people on as temps right before they hire them. But they've even changed that language, because that temp mindset, if you're using that language, it's almost there's almost a stigma attached to it. And they've changed that language to call them partner employees or associates.
Oh, I love that.
So that as they're coming in, they're really part of the team. Because really, if your goal is to have them be a permanent employee, you want to treat them like that right from the beginning. And then that onboarding is so important. We know that onboarding and someone's direct supervisor, those are the two biggest factors for their retention.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Well, thank you so much, Susan.
Thank you
This is
so
fantastic.
much.
Thanks, guys.
Yes.
Thanks for joining us.